Do you know that if you have political leaders who are greedier, your country will never develop? Yes, that is what we have been experiencing in Ghana. That is why the country Ghana is not developing. Because most of our political party leaders are very greedy. They think about themselves more than the country. What you say? Most of them. Because they show Omaimua, Omaino Ewa Japadi Bibrianka, Ibetumi Ayusu, and they develop this country. Nanso esan se ye mpanyifo na ye to aba edemo omo no omo endwen oman ho na omo dwen omo ankasa omo yiyedie ho nti omo be fira ban mu no na omo no ayeyie nanso na oman na ye de hye omo nsa no na oman no esan asanechi. So most of these political party leaders or politicians are very greedy. They think about themselves more than the country. That is why the country is not progressing but retrogressing. Mene wo ye mienu aye to aba edemo omo no yen na ebetumi assess these directives until say besesan ya adwen e wo politicians ho no we are not going to see development in this country. Enu nti na mene wo eba beche nsemu a mene wo eba beche. I'm going to give you 5 ways political greed is holding Ghana back. Senem di kan e kan ye no Ghana ha no ye wa gudie bebre anke betumi e de abo oman no ho bra. Nanso nkrofo a saa agudie ene ye japade kokodu omo nsem e wo se omo de ye development e wo mamu ha no. They think about themselves and their political parties more than the country. That is why we are not seeing development. If all our political party leaders, parliamentarians, assembly members, government appointees, MMDCs and co, even assembly members, unit committee members are going to put Ghana first, like Ghana will move forward. But because they are not putting Ghana first by their own political party and their own selfish interest first, that is why the country is not developing. Without wasting your time, let's move on. The first one is corrupt politicians misuse public funds. Corrupt politicians misuse public funds. Ye ina ye num say president ononkoa ontumi enye adwuma enunti na oyiyi na pamfo a omebeboa no na otimi aye adwuma no enti se project bi ekoso na se president no ode hye obi ensa instead of using the money allocated for the project no omo enyusu ni nyina then they divert the funds to do their own personal things. That is a school bi ena omo besi ekwan bi ena wose omo siesie hospital bi ena wose omo si sene ebe ya timamufuo no so hu beto omo no. They divert the funds for their personal gains. Now all those developmental projects no are halted. What you see? So the funds that are allocated for developmental projects are being diverted for these political parties, leaders or appointees' personal gains. That is why I am telling you, say they think about their selfish interests more than the country. And unti say there will be a two project bi anu instead say nipa no obehwe na project no akoso yiye no na benefit the general public no obeye kro obeye shoddy work obeye ni biara na chese sika nka ye no ananwoma na omode yesa project no they will divide it into about 3. They use one for the project and they use the 2 for their own benefit. Inti say political parties leaders no and politicians ekoso say ebeye den na oman no etumi e develop. And that is what has been happening. The version of funds eno na ekoso. The politicians are using the resources that we have in the country for their own personal gains more than developing the country. So that is one thing. Corrupt politicians misuse public funds. It's one thing that is hindering the success of this country. Let's look at the second point. And the second point is overpriced government project for personal gains. Side way very rampant. And government they accuse the other government of doing that thing. Because the NPP eba ba move fro na His Excellency President Mahama wire circle interchange. Omo kan say sika na yede aye sa interchange e wo circle ho no ebetumi asisa circle interchange for about 3 or 4 times. Nanso omo de asi ba akompe. Enti sika no nkae no ekodi hwan ho. Ena NDC nso eba ban mu They are also talking about the same thing. Say National Cathedral, na NPP aban opese osi no. Ohwe sika omotwa edi ato ho. Na nka omopese omodisi cathedral na. His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama or can see yesi dan bi ewo Nigeria. Na saa dan no or compared to the National Cathedral na it's almost the same. And so Nigeria for use $30 million and this year, and so NPP for so more than $400 million and on Messi sa the same cathedral na on person musi wa Ghana ha no. Match says kind of was anka omudisi cathedral no. Bebre ababeka ho. Na the gusto no hwan mo and omobefa. It's not the same politicians who are going to benefit from it. In say iron rods will be no better was anka mo turn 10,000 na obehu no matchro 50,000. Enti about 40,000 there ebeko e de ama omo enti omo besi edan baako ewie no na sika omo anya for their personal gains no na eson sen de oman no ebenya enti da bia na chese omo get rich na oman no so konachi. There is nothing good happening. Obi beko aban mu 4 years na chese na brabo asesa waye yie na oman no de who development bia ewu isan se sika ye de ma no se onfansiesie oman no onfanye bribi ewo man no mu no o de akosi ni dan o de ato eden bi amoba the amount of money these politicians spend abra omo eko vacations bi anase omo yare na omo kohwe omo ho ewo abruchire no ebetumi esi hospital ewo krobi so. But they don't think about the people who voted for them. They think about themselves more than the electorates. To me na emwa ema of mine into me enkoso. So our politicians must change so that we will see development in the country. Let's look at the third point. And the third point is greedy politicians block economic growth. Greedy politicians block economic growth. That is the third point. And okrenso see if a party bia eba aban they put their political party ahead of the nation. Enunti inioma omobeya ebeboa oman no, they don't do that. Na the ebeboa party no success no eno na omo adwen ekoso. Ye hwe ade se aban bi ewo ho na se wo hye development bi ase and say project bi ase na se oye na se wo wie na different government eba na say party eba instead of continuing that project, no, they cancel it and start their own. Some also envia, not just the same thing, and na air coso. We best start it own we no free abemu. We best start it own we no free abemu. Not just a day in and day out, no. The resources that belongs to the country and na yen leaders no omo say no. Na omo adwen say separate we ayade we na se we na se be toa so e complete here. That party will get the credit. Into why should we do something that will give credit to the opponent than we getting the credit? In the side ya mayen so yen start yen ankasa ye de na yen fa omode no ento nchen nti da bia no obehwe oman gan na mu ha obekọ baabi no na aban bi asi school e de asi wo wanwie de obaye no wantoa so NDC for eye NPP for eye enye one political party e no mo yes ade no e ba sa na you won't see any economic growth. The schools, roads, hospitals, any number bebre akewura nobody is attending to because say you was share ase no oni aban mu biem. What you say the political party now waba no ono so be share ne dia ase se ne be ya ono no benya credit no na credit no enko ema pass government no na ye say ya ebeboa amoman no etumi akoso ana. Our politicians normally think about what will favor them but not what will favor the nation. That is why Ghana is not developing. Let's keep them on their toes and tell them to do the right thing. Let's move on to the fourth point. The fourth point is high salaries and benefits whilst citizens struggle. Yehwa yen politicians msika omo eje bosumi bia no e wo so yie pa. Nanso contractor yedima omo se omo nhwe so na omo enye no. Se 10,000 Ghana cedis and a beso a omutumi eye no be se 500,000. What you see? Omu di bebre eka ho na se omu envia sa sika na omu de to so no hwan ho ene beko. Enti project bia or no as a person no or no na all year anka on spend be say 20,000 po no. Say a government project and ideation and sa or we can say 50,000. That is what has been going on. Politician be ntimi mfa in sinable and kind let me say yeah the contract be man say on so na amount na was omode ye the same amount and omode ye. Say ebi mu bedi no krompa eye maako bi. Most of them omo ediska no bi eka ho omo ewia na omo hu contractor no na omo age omo balance for their personal gains tie kobasa na Ghana best spend this bebre enso ade ketewa bi na oman no ebenya na sika dodo na akwakodi politicians eho enu nti na edu abatro bra na omo ani abre mo ba mo se mo ba besum ye enso ye to aba no ema mu ewia na post no asesa yen na ye to aba ema mo no yen na ye som mo na mu a mo kan se mo ba besum ye no mo be ye ohin na ye som ti obi ekwa aban mu 4 years pe na wayeyi oni na busuafo nyina ayi within 4 years teacher ni beti baabi obey adwuma 30 years ne politician ebenya within 4 years no ye chemu 10 kura o nya baako. Why? Our politicians are very much greedy. They think about themselves more than anybody in this country. What you say? It's when we na ena emwa ema o man Ghana yentumi enko ye nimu no. Fe benefit o munya ye beto fuel mo e beto car e dia mo e dan ba bi o mo beda electricity bill most of them are not paying fuel allowances whatever allowances that they are getting or more allowance bi o mo benya no etumi etua government workers be say 10 ka be afi baako na one person na ye decide sika no e dia ma no na o enjoy into kwa aban mu 4 years a oba ye na ye timamufo no hu ni say o ye superior isanse sika eye moja sika e wotumi sika kasa wohia eye odin ope bibi e de afre ne nchen indida bia na obesom no se ne be ya de wo hwehwe no nso wonsa beka to those whom they claim say they are going to serve us no we tend to be their laborers. Let's move on to the fifth point and the final one. The fifth point that we are going to look at is selling Ghana's resources for personal profit. What you see, most of these politicians, omu etumi eton oman no ejapade, na omo no enyamfaso esen oman no. Esan se nipa na omo ton ade no ede amano no, ebimpa na omo ena na omo share chile, but they are just using that person to get that property for themselves. In this idea, no, it was almost 10,000 no matter base 6,000. Now, omudiamano. Then they go behind the scenes to correct the balance. Na sadia na nkasa a omoton ye no ababidi omo into mube free aban mu no ubehu. Now that is where they are getting their monies, they are getting their resources from. And most of the resources are belonging to the country. Eya omoton no. Politicians na eno moton de mo ho. Ye say obi aba besum oman no, we cry your sum. O de enfa no say some obi aba besum oman no na omo yusu government car bi, government property bi. Na say omo ekwa 4 years no eso na say omo ekwa. Then they sell those things to themselves. Enti car bi na o yusu as a minister, car bi na o yusu as MC, car bi na o yusu as MP. Na eye government property want to me enfa nko so mo be kwa na mo aton e dia mo ho endisade no okoto no wo abonten na nko beto no be say 50,000 obehu no mo ato be say 10,000 fofofo na wafa no de call. There will be no accountability, and that has been going on in this country. They sell the resources belonging to the country to themselves. No more or more enjoy. Now majority of the people suffer in this country. Why? We vote for you guys to implement policies, do certain things that will benefit all of us. By the moment you get our nod, you turn against us. You don't even listen to us. We embark on demonstrations, strike actions, But these our politicians will never listen to us. They do what will benefit them without thinking about the populace. Minya yena etoba edemo omo ma yentu ye hofo. Muma ye susu emfa ya adwen emma omo. Bibi na obetumi aya ye Nyankopon be hyira so edi ama. Na ye mmom pa ye nso na Nyankopon enyi leaders a omuo abadaye edema oman. Omo be putu Ghana first. Na aboa ama oman no etumi atumpon. Amma saade a ene se ne oman etie adabia yesu se nyoma mu ayedin no government we beba obeko the same thing and be happen. Let's keep them on their toes. Let's tell them to do the right thing. Let's vote against them when they refuse to listen to us. Sene be ya omobeye de ehwe no na aboa ama oman no so afa na tomapa afra mama na wase na memfa wo esia mesra so be subscribe to this channel o be like na wa comment na wa share video we ama foforo so anya bi awe na me nsira me ne wo be share bi makra bye bye.